Hello y'all on YouTube, this is Rob with Rob's Nerdy Knives. Today we have a very special unboxing, probably an installation of something really cool coming in from Lynch Northwest. Let's take a look at this together. Alright, today I'm opening up my box with my Spyderco FRN CruWear. Now technically it's not the one that was in here, it was the 15B, but I like this brown color on this DLC coated CruWear Para 3. And I reached out to Lynch Northwest and asked them about something I saw on their website that I thought was really stinking cool, because I hadn't seen many people do this. And I think you guys should get a chance to check this out with me together. Let's see what we got here, okay? So we're going to open up this box here carefully. You know, CruWear retains its edge really well. It's nice tough blade steel. I love their packaging. So clean. All right, so here we are. Whoa, look at this. Orange, that's fancy. I love that color. That's a nice color, guys. That's a really nice color. So we have PM3 lightweight scale kit. What? Lightweight scale kit? PM3? You mean like this? Let's take a look. Does this just slide off, I think? Talk about nice packaging. I almost feel like I don't want to open it, but I do, because I want to get into this. This really nice presentation, guys. All right, so here we go. Thank you, Rob. All right, let's take a look. What do we got? Ooh, we got a lanyard. We got a couple of scales. Look at the color. We got a clip. Okay, so it's a 3-hole, not that one. All right, good. I get a wire clip back. Oh, an extra one. Look at that. Ooh, we get a little extra. We got a couple of wonderful stickers for giveaways. Love that. Para 3 lightweight scale kit, Mod 1. Is that 6064V titanium? So titanium with Coyote Fade. All right, that's Coyote Fade, and I don't know if you saw why. What was this? Oh, that's the thank you note. I love their little touch of the thank you note. I think it's just nice touches. You know what I mean? Now, if you're into your paracord, you get a paracord. I think that's cool. That's cool. All right, let's get into this. Let's look at these. So I've been wanting to check out a couple of different lightweight scale makers. The one that everyone tells me to go to, I have yet to. I tried to reach out to them. They hadn't really replied to me, so I guess I'm just not a big enough channel for them to want to talk with, because I was willing to buy them. I was just hoping that maybe I could get some stickers, you know, and kind of talk them up and stuff. I mean, that's all I really ever want, just some stickers for you guys, you know, and hype them up. But I don't know if I was just too small of a guy, and so they don't really care. And that's fine. That's fine. That's fair, right? It's legitimate. Maybe you're just, you know, I'm barely coming up on 10,000 subscribers, so you know you got channels way bigger than me, and that is absolutely 100% fair in my book. Okay, so all right, so we got some screws. I'm going to put these over here. We've got 2 screws here. I'm assuming that's the over here, so we'll put those right there. Okay, so this is the knife that I'm going to put them on. So I'm going to put this up here, I'm going to put this up here, and then we've got our washer. Now we'll polish this puppy up here in a second. I'm going to put these scales over here for now. Let's take this apart. I think that's a T10 maybe? Let's see. Yeah, it's T10. Okay, so we'll put that one over here. I think we're going to do the no, I think that's T8. I think it's T8. T8 here, maybe? Yeah. All right, let's get the thing that might be a T6. I don't think I need that. Okay, I think that's going to go in there. I think that's going to go in here. We'll put that off to the side for now. That's going to probably go in here. So let me get my little polishing strop. I always like to do that for the phosphor bronze washers. It just gives better contact. Nice to clean them off. So put the blade over here. Now I'm just cleaning up the phosphor bronze washer. Inside, outside, so there's no extra compound left on there. All right, now let's assemble. Avengers assemble. So I'm going to assume this fits on here. By the way, USA made. Notice that? I always feel good about that. Oh, I like that. It's almost like a floating backspacer. Cool. Cool. Very cool. Oh, I like that. That's nice. That's really cool. I'm liking this. Oh, I'm liking this. Oh, this is sharp. This is freaking sharp, guys. This is nice. This is really, really nice. Wow. Lynch Northwest, you guys have outdone yourselves. Yes, sir. Everything about this little FRN replacement scale makes it speak nothing but quality. Guys, oh, my first impression just putting it together is so cool. So freaking cool. Oh, let's put this one on first. Almost forgot a screw. I'd have to unscrew it. I like to remember that. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So you could put the lanyard through there if I wanted to. Don't have to, but you absolutely could. I love the fact that there's not officially really a lanyard. I mean, that sort of could be one. It's nice. Oh, that's really, 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 really nice. Wow. I am really impressed with this thing. I get another clip just in case I need one. Oh, man. Oh, wow. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. I have a CME. We're going to put that on. Let's just make this thing complete. We could so do that, but it's not a full contact one. This is the one that I got for it. I think it would work, but I am going to have to file the bottom of this down. And this, I believe, is, I'm not sure if it's painted or if it's dyed or whatever, but we're going to have to file the bottom of this down a little bit. Let's see if this goes a little faster with this guy. I don't know. So I'll tell you, this is not the ideal CME. It's the one I got. Justin and Molly were really kind. They gave me some extra stuff, and so I'm going to make it work. But had I paid for this, I might have said, hey, is there any chance I can get a refund and get a different one, because this is going to take a lot of milling and adjusting to make it fit. Because this really isn't made for this one. And it's sort of a plastic under there that's been kind of treated, and so I don't know, there's like a coating on here, a seal or something, and it does come off. Once it starts peeling, I'm pretty much afraid that it's gonna be difficult to stick. So I'm trying to make sure it's nice and clean. All right, so what I did is I want to make sure that this little lip that goes over here is even and flush with the lock bar, because when you push it open, it can hit the top here, and that can prevent you from having this open all the way, and that's very frustrating. I've actually had that happen. And then you want this to be really flat and right on the surface, but still clear under here. So for me, to have that clearance, okay, so I can go about up to here. Alrighty, you're done. That was laborious. The hardest thing sometimes getting that CME on, especially if it's a really fat one that you have to trim. This one was particularly, challenging because it's not a straight G10, which means I had to like really trim it down a bit to get it to fit. And that's always a little frustrating because when they're like that, they're a little more challenging to put on. So, and I needed the Dremel because that was going to take me forever to hand sand that. That was just ridiculous amount of time. So I figured, all right, let's use the Dremel. Let's speed things up. Let's get it done, which it did. Helped speed things up a lot. And the reason why I enjoy having a Dremel, because it's a good tool. And it's a tool that I actually use. So I'm going to put these away. I still have my Shaman one that I need to put on, the other one. Then I have an extra red one, but I have no idea what I'm going to use it for. Then I have this micarta one. That's essentially worthless unless I get a native. A little native or something like that. I don't plan on doing that, so it's kind of a bummer. They say you can use it, it just doesn't look like it's got great contact. And man, when I don't have great contact, it's a challenge. I'll just say that. It's a challenge. So, ooh, got a little super glue there, huh? Put the lighter away. And we have these scales. We'll save these parts in the case. And we'll clean up here. Mat. Feels like I haven't cleaned up in a while. It looks kind of dirty. All right, where is my, there it is, a little tool. Dremel is a good tool to have. I like them. I think do a lot of things with a Dremel. You can do a lot of bad things with a Dremel, but you can do some good things with a Dremel. I have screwed up some things with my Dremel. But I've also enjoyed fixing some things with my Dremel. So it's only as good as the tool as how you learn how to use it, right? So I don't know if you noticed I cleaned my mat off, or I got a new mat. The other mat was starting to get pretty beat up. So I figured, yeah, it could be time. It could be time. So let's do it, right? Now let's put our parts away, stuff away. Our little glue bottles. Once you've opened it too many times, it's time for trying to give up the ghost on the glue bottle, right? They only have so much life left in them. So here's the old scales, and here's the new one. Titanium. I love this little floating backspacer coming together right here. No lanyard hole. I love that. I love the fact that it's got the 3 clip and the little feather. All that matches really well with the Cerakote on the CruWear. Black out hardware. Then we've got this brown that I think probably match a little closer to that, but it's close. I like it. Once it's finished drying, I'm going to use a little black marker, just kind of darken that out, because I'd rather have it darked out than the white exposed from the sanding, which is nothing I can control, right? I mean, it is what it is, but yeah, it is what it is. But we do have good contact right here. So I'm not going to flip it right now. Right now, I'm going to let it sit and let it dry. Don't be tempted. I'm tempted right now to mess with it, but don't be tempted. Let it dry. Let it dry. I'm telling you, let it dry. If you're going to put a CME on, you got to give it 24 hours, at least 12 to 24 hours. If you don't, it will come off. And repeatedly, every time I don't, it does come off. Just it's a guarantee. It's just a guarantee, okay? So let's do a little zoom in so we can kind of take a look at this. So here's that beautiful blade, CruWear, CPM-CruWear. Here we have this beautiful scale all the way around. Cerakote titanium scale with a little feather, right? And we look at the backspacer right here. Floating backspacer connects here and at the little lanyard hole, right? And then we have the top of the blade, a traditional leaf point blade with a spidey hole. And then we have the compression lock right here. And this is a CME. So CME is compression made easy. These are made by OCD4EDC. I'll have them linked down in the description, obviously. Justin and Molly, a couple of great people. They have a channel too, by the way. Here we have our beautiful little clip, black Lynch Northwest clip. This is black. These are Lynch Northwest scales. And I love the fact that it's titanium. I'm sure there's others who've made them out there, but I've owned 3 or 4 sets of Lynch Northwest titanium scales now. So I really do like them. I love the roundedness. That's really, really nice. A lot of weight relief in here, which is great, right? Can use the hardware. Also, it got a second washer, so now this works really, really well. Yeah, it looks really stunning. I love the black on the tan, and the little brown kind of just was there an ode to the original color of the scales that I had? Not these scales, but the original color. I think the original color of the CruWear, it was a micarta, if I remember correctly. I have to go look at the box, but because I'll put these old scales back in the original box. And then you have the leaf design, Golden, Colorado, USA made, right? So very, very cool. Nice chimping, a little finger choil right there. Can actually do the finger choil. So yeah, we're just gonna let this dry. As much as I want to touch it, we're gonna let it dry. And so if you're curious, let's see if I can get it in there. So you see the CME on the back part right there? I don't know if you can see that. There's glue in the back part, and I want to make sure that coating dries up and seals really well on there, because that's going to allow it to sit better. So if you're curious how that is, I don't know if you can see that. There's the oil back, the glue. It's flush with the lock bar, which is what I wanted to make sure. That bottom part is flush on here. The top part is flush down here. And a nice 90-degree angle, giving you 2 points of angle. And then it's just going to dry and set really well. And you can see we have clearance right here. I don't need to put a piece of paper in, but you can absolutely see, you can see that if I put a little light in there. You see that? There's like a little clearance right there. That's nice. I do enjoy that. So, and you can see back here, there's not any clearance underneath. So that's good. Now we let it dry. There's the clip. Nice Lynch Northwest titanium clips. I do like those. Your stop and everything. And this works really, really well together. And it looks pretty darn sharp. If I wanted to put the 15V back on here, I could, and that would look nice too. I like that this is a skinny. It doesn't have the extra space there, so it's a skinny right here. And what I mean by skinny, let's compare so you know what I'm talking about. I keep grabbing all the... So here's a non-skinny. You see how this part... Oh, let me zoom out. Sorry, guys. So do you see how this part comes out over here? This little belly. Over here, it's flat. See that? How it's flat right there? So that's what you consider a skinny. If I were to put this on top of this one right here, you could see this little belly right here. See how that sticks out a little bit? So that's what they call a skinny. For some, it's cool. For others, it doesn't matter, right? Sometimes it just makes it a little lighter, a little thinner, a little more ergonomic in the pocket. Kind of a knife. Yeah, very excited about this. So very, very cool. Thank you to Lynch Northwest for allowing me to check it out. I will tell you my first impressions, and we'll do a review and give you more thoughts on this. My first impressions, it's good. When I put the knife in immediately with the extra washer that was included, which I appreciate. I need to clean my glasses from all the work that I just did, sorry. But when I put it in there, the action was phenomenal. No blade play. Open and closing really, really well. Spyderco's almost like, you know, fixed. It's like it has a bushing, and then it has the fixed phosphor bronze washers. They are set on the side, and so the knife itself is just rotating around the pivot. So it's like a bushing itself. The whole knife acts like a bushing on the pivot, which is like every knife, I guess. But there's no washers that they're there, but it's not necessarily have to be on there. So I like this a lot. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. So my first impressions are very, very positive. I would tell you, if you're on the fence about getting a set of these scales, I would jump on this. I feel like this is the next, how, I will tell you, I feel like Original Goat kind of owns the Mannix 2 FRN knives. They just kind of own it, right? If you're going to get an FRN scale for an FRN Mannix 2, Original Goat's the way to go. Whether you get the titanium, you get a Cerakote or whatever, Original Goat are the way to go. I have 2 of them. I gave one away. Yeah, no, I have one left, but I've had 4 or 5 of them actually, and those are phenomenal. And if I ever find another specialty steel, I may do another one, right? Wouldn't mind getting a titanium set at one point. But Original Goat, they're there. As far as clips, it's always been Lynch Northwest. They've been the go-to. I mean, yes, there's MXG gear. They've got some great stuff. No, I'm not going to knock them. Rip's Garage Technology, they have some great stuff. I like their clips. They do a great job. I have several of their clips, and I do enjoy their clips. They're great. I enjoy some of their scales. They're great. But Lynch Northwest really has a lot of options, a lot of good stuff. And I've enjoyed putting them on my Mac, my McNeese, my Chris Reeve knife, my Rick Hendra knife for the fancy milled stuff. Now that we have the fancy milled stuff on my Mannix 2, this is their new clip. This almost reminds me of like a custom milled clip, and I love it. I love how this looks on here. Now I could put that on here. I don't think it would complement it as much. If it was a plain titanium scale, maybe it would look dope. But this is nice, like this, right? And I love this clip. So, but Lynch Northwest, man, they're the bomb when it comes to stuff like that. But now I will tell you, for titanium Para 3 FRN scales, I love these. Now I do love their other stuff because I have had several sets of their regular titanium scales. I've had on Bodacious, a Para 3. I know I've had something else, I can't remember, but they're great. They're absolutely fantastic. Fantastic. But the regular clip, the middle clip, the scales, they're all awesome and they're amazing. So I highly recommend them. I hope you get a chance to check them out. I love the contoured here. I'm going to be carrying this knife probably a lot more. I just need this to set so I can carry it now. But I'm hoping this will set well. I've always wanted to have a nice set of scales for this. Like I said, I was going to try Applied Weapons Technology, AWT. Reached out to them. Didn't really hear anything back from them. I didn't want anything free from them. Just to let me make it very clear. I am not the kind of person that reaches out to someone hoping I get something free. I reach out because, one, I want to see, do you have an affiliate? Because if I'm going to try your stuff and I love it, I'd love to see if there's some affiliate, all right? 2, is there a possibility of a discount code? Maybe a discount code, at least to get something for my subscribers. Maybe a one-time use discount code so I can highlight their stuff. Or maybe stickers and some bling for giveaways, so I can always highlight them. Lynch Northwest been really generous with a lot of stickers, a lot of bling, and I really appreciate those guys. So didn't have to, and they weren't when they had not really worked with a lot of channels. And I kind of reached out to them, talked to them, and I got the impression I was kind of like the first guy touching base with them and working with them, and probably kind of, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Thomas and Casey, you tell me if I'm wrong, but I got the impression when I first reached out to you, you hadn't really spoken to many, and I just wanted to just highlight some of your stuff. I wasn't looking for anything free. I was just hoping maybe I could buy something at a discount. Maybe you had some stickers. Maybe you had some stuff for giveaways. I could highlight stuff. Maybe you wanted to donate something for a giveaway, and that would be totally awesome. I will say, I will ask, sometimes I've asked people, do you have anything for giveaways? Because I think that would be awesome. I love to get stuff for you guys. And they did, and it kind of opened the door, and I thought that was really, really cool, because I bought thousands of dollars of stuff from these guys over the years. I know I have. I know I've spent quite a bit of money under different logins and whatever, but I have not spent just a couple of $100 with Lynch Northwest. I've not just spent probably $1,000. I've spent quite a few $1,000s with these guys. as many clips as I've bought, I'm going to guess I probably bought anywhere between 75 and 100 clips alone. And that's anywhere from the basic $30, $29 clip to the $100, $79, $89, $100 clips, right? I have bought scales. I've gotten scales too for giveaways, right? I have, what else have I bought? I bought a lot of things. Clips, gosh, now I'm going brain dead. But, oh, I've bought like oils, like Dano oil. I get my replacement Dano oil from those guys because I figured, you know, it's a local USA company and I'd rather support them than Amazon. Even if Amazon can save me a buck, I'd rather give that buck to Lynch Northwest. USA company. I love what they do. I believe in them. I think they're a good company. They make good products. If they ever have an issue, they're really good about fixing it. I've not had any issues personally. And I will tell you, if you guys do have issues, you know, sugar goes a long way, right? Don't come all crusty and mad and confrontational. Just say, hey, this happened. Is this normal? You know, you'd be surprised. People want to help you. They want to make you happy. They want you to have a good experience. I genuinely 100% believe that. And if you didn't know that, surprise, right? Surprise. People do. If I had a company, I would want you to have a good experience. But the reality is sometimes there's people who are just, they're just not going to be nice. And they do it because either they're angry and they feel like they got taken advantage of because something broke. The reality is no one's perfect. No one's perfect. You're going to get something broken from someone. I used to always say I always got the broken thing. And it was pretty regular. I was very good about always getting the broken thing. But I love it when I can work with a company and they take care of you. I mean, I had a McNeese Mac 2, 3.5, love that Gen 1, fantastic knife. And I remember it started like not locking, it was moving the detent lash. And I went to Texas Blade Show in 2024 and I brought with me, and I asked Jonathan, I said, hey, is this normal? And so he took the knife, he handled it, and the detent ball was moving around. And I told him I hard used the knife. I chopped down big giant sunflower trees, and I call them sunflower trees because when they're 8, 9, 10 feet tall and the stalk is like that big, you got to chop it like an axe. It's a sunflower tree as far as I'm concerned. But, you know, when in the barn, when my son used to show sheep and stuff like that, so I'd hard used that knife. And I figured, you know, maybe I hard used it a little too much, but he took care of it. He fixed it, got the knife back, was in perfect shape. He even put a nice fresh edge on there. Everything was fantastic. I mean, seriously, that's amazing, right? I love customer service stories like that. I love. I mean, Original Goat, I got a set of scales from them. There was a little void in there. I said, hey, is this normal? And they're like, oh, no, that's not normal. So let me send that back. We'll get you a new one. They would have sent me the new one if they had it before I even got the original, before I got the original one back. They were just awesome. Awesome folks. Lynch Northwest, been great. They have lifetime guarantee on their clips. I don't know if you know that. Lifetime guarantee on their clips. Don't know how that works because guess what? Titanium clips, they last a lifetime. So you can put a guarantee like that on a clip when it lasts a lifetime. It's almost like saying, I'm going to guarantee something that's going to last you a lifetime for a lifetime. Wait, hold on a second. If it lasts me a lifetime and I never need to do anything for a lifetime, what's the guarantee? Well, just in case it doesn't. But most of the time it will. So it's really, it's a no-brainer warranty, right? That's the kind of stuff that they offer. So I think that's really cool. That's why I like Lynch Northwest. And I love the stuff that they're expanding out into. They do custom build knives. You can buy like one of these guys pre-built with their scales on. I think that's cool. So if you don't like to put the scales on, it's a little intimidating, maybe you're not too sure about it, you buy the pre-built knife from them. They'll do that for you. I think that's pretty cool. They have tools, really cool tools. I want to get the little small wrench pliers. I finally saw how they used it. It was amazing how they used it and how they figure how they, if you ever have like a little, like your blade leans one way or it's not, your blade's off center, sometimes it has to do with how everything sits and sets in. And the way they use those pliers, they have these non-textured pliers, like my pliers here on my arc. You see how it has this jimping? It has this little texture here. That will scratch things, but they have these non-ones that they use when they put the knives together, and it was brilliant because I sometimes do that. I take them apart and I do. So I mean, they got all sorts of stuff, all sorts. They even have they work with Skiff, Steve Skiff, and they have Skiff Caged Bearings. They sell those there too. So like if you get a smock, you can get a smock with Skiffs, right? I love that. I love that. So anyways, I would highly encourage you check out Lynch Northwest. By the way, this is my favorite color packaging. Casey and Thomas, this is my favorite packaging. I love this. This orange is a beautiful color. This happens to be my favorite color, so this was just it was a joy to open after it was packaged and see this color. It was like a ray of fresh sunshine. It was a breath of fresh air. It really was stinking cool. Even with the Doberman holding the axe, I love that. And I need to get one of their knives. I really need to check out. They've got some cool new knives, USA made, they make right there. I need to get one of those. I really need to order one. So they look really cool. I didn't get a chance to check them out at Blade Show, Texas, because I lost my voice, like I told you the last day, and missed out on a ton of interviews I was going to do in the last day. It just really bugged me out. And we had some air conditioning issues back home, so it was a bad. That Friday night in the pit, I didn't even get a chance to talk to half the people I wanted to talk to because I had some issues at home. REC had some issues, and I thought I was going to have to drive back that evening. There's no way I had gotten home without crashing because I had been super tired, but I was very frustrated. So yeah, Sunday was a no-go, and then lost my voice because of probably staying up trying to take care of all that. It was weird, but you know, maybe next year I'll get a chance to talk to him and have a chat with him and interview him and talk about Lynch Northwest. I like these guys. Go check them out. I'm serious. Go check out Lynch Northwest. Oh, here, why not use one of their stickers? It'll probably be a little easier, right? Lynch Northwest. We'll put that right there. So this is a Lynch Northwest scale. I love it. First impressions, right? It's not my full review. I'll carry it for a while. I'll use it just like I've used my other one that I really, really do love. So I have a pair 3. This one's on the Maximate. This is the Fibonacci scales in the Dark Abyss with a Dark Abyss pair 3 clip. And I have a little CME on here. That's my little CME from OCD4EDC. This one is the Maximate blade, which you want to make sure you keep oiled so it doesn't rust. Is that rust on there? Ooh, I might have a little rust from stuff. Let me get some oil on there. I think I had some stuff on there. I don't know if I cut an apple or what, but I think I got a little bit of rust on the exposed blade there. If you didn't know, Maxim is not corrosion resistant. It's a fantastic steel, like Rex 121 is, like 15V is, like even Rex 76. Now Rex 76, I don't know if it's corrosion resistant. I think it's close to like S110V, maybe like S115V or 121, something like that, right? So I think in that regard, it might have some corrosion resistance properties. I don't know if it's, you know, stainless per se. Like D2 is almost stainless. It's just not quite stainless. It's pretty close, but Maximate is not. S110, I believe, is. MagnaCut absolutely is. All right, let's see. Did we refreshen up that? See how sharp that is. It's ridiculously sharp. I love Maximate. Maximate is just a ridiculously sharp blade. But keep it oiled. Keep it dry. If you're in a humid Louisiana swampland, this may not be the blade for you unless you oil it regularly, unless you get a Cerakote one or a DLC coated one, you know, something to protect the outside. That's why CruWear is the same. CruWear's got super tough, pretty good edge retention. This is way better edge retention, but it's not as tough as CruWear. CruWear is really tough. CruWear, if I was going to go chopping branches and stuff like that, I would be more inclined to use the CruWear Para 3 than my Maximate. But if I was cutting like a lot of paper, cardboard boxes and things that I didn't worry about nails and stuff, I would absolutely use this one, my Maximate. This would be the one to go with for sure. All right, are we close to? I think I got rid of that rust spot by just stropping it and putting some oil on. It's outstanding. Just something to keep in mind with a knife like this. Make sure you keep it oiled at all times. And especially if you decide, like me, you can cut an apple. Wipe it down. Make sure you've really wiped it down. I obviously missed a spot. Now, during the day I'm working, I can see myself doing that, but I'm glad I happened to check this for this channel, because that would have pitted the blade, and I might have to reprofile the entire blade, because then you can get it pitting and stuff, right? So, there we go. All right, I'm just going to take the extra oil off, but nice. Now I don't have that, and it's crazy sharp again. But this is the Fibonacci Lynch Northwest Dark Abyss. Love this scale. This is titanium. It is a little heavier. This one has minimal weight relief, but this does have the scale. Yeah, it has it's half linerless. It has a scale, the full half liner over here. So it is heavier than this. This one has that itty bitty little single liner, and and no other liners in there, which I think is kind of along the lines of the FRN, which, man, you know what I love about this? This opens up the door to the Para 3 FRN's knives, and you know, people. I know some manufacturers don't like custom scales. They're like, you know, they feel like it takes their business away. These guys got to stop thinking like that. Those of us who love to modify our knives. Yeah, I know this is Rob's rambling, so if you're done, I get it. You know, if you checked out, that's cool. But you got a little extra Rob's rambling here. If you like modding knives and you love to get a good deal on an FRN, when you have scales like this, it opens up the door. If you want just a nicer knife, I love Rockscale Design scales. They make fantastic scales, just like the Fibonacci. These are great. Like the G10 versions of these knives. This is a G10 version of a 15V. This is a G10 version of a Maximate. These are great. Absolutely fantastic, right? I love these. But getting an FRN scale like this is just simply stunning. I am super, super stoked about something like this now, because this opens up the door for me for whole new knives. For all the FRN series, I can get these scales. These scales, I mean, they're not cheap, but they're not. The reason why they're a little bit more, and I will tell you, like Rockscales are a little cheaper, but you have the G10 and you have half a liner, right? It's likewise some of the other Lynch Northwest scales are a little cheaper because there's less milling, there's less precision weld. Here, there's a lot of very strong, tight tolerances, and it takes extra. You got to double check, triple check. You got to make sure you have fresh bits, which means that's more expense. So when you're milling your titanium, where you can get away with certain tolerances and sharpness, and you know, have certain patterns, like how big, wide a hole is. That's when, however often you switch the bit, sharpen the bit out, adjust your machine. That it's more generous for something like this than it is for something like that. So that's extra cost. That's extra cost in maintenance, extra cost in queue time, and, you know, prep time, and stuff like that. So that's where you get cost. And if you're not familiar with manufacturing, CNCing and stuff like that, I mean, those are just some of the basic things. Now, I'm not going to tell you that some of that stuff is going to cost you an extra $500 but it does add up. It adds up labor, it adds up downtime, it adds up because you're turning machine on and off. That's more maintenance, because that's more wear. Shutting a machine down than just run, right? It is. So these are cool. I like these. I'm super stoked. I'm stoked that we have an option. We have a really nice option. I still would like to check out Applied Weapons Technology. I think it's Applied Weapons Technology. I don't think it's American. I first used to call it American Weapons. It's Applied Weapons Technology, AWT. Still like to check them out if they ever were ever to reach out back to me. I think their stuff would be cool to have something compared to, because they've got, they do aluminum and very cost-effective stuff. And I think I saw recently Knife Dope. He had a Sage 6 set of scales from them. They looked really good. They looked really good. Really, really good. Yeah, I like my carbon fiber scales in mine, but that could almost convince me to consider trying a set of scales, right? Almost. I don't know. I have the S90V one, so. Anyways, love this Para 3. Check it out. This is a basic version. They have different models with different textures. There's different versions coming out. They're going to make more. Different colors, different. They have one that's like not even Cerakote, plain tie. I think that would look dope too. I would love that. Without, you know, if I'm not doing this DLC, I think that would look stunning. Something like a Maximate, I think it would look really good, or 15V, I think. right? I have my Para 3 here. This is another one. This is the super fancy full custom scales right here. The time to make a set of these scales, you could probably make 5, 6 sets of these scales. Okay, so that's why these are way more expensive. The CNC to get the micro lines and the hexagons, and to get the tolerances. This is could Lynch Northwest do this? Yes, they could. The issue is, the price they charge for these is a fantastic price. I personally believe that. It's still high, and some people may not buy it because they think it's too high. You would absolutely choke on your Kool-Aid or whatever, your tea, if you do this, because these scales are in the $400, $500 range, okay? And there's a reason why. I put them on, immediately dead center nuts, tolerances, and they're solid. Phenomenal. Now this was a MagnaCut, a CPM MagnaCut one with the satin finish, but if they had one of these plain ones, it would look really nice. Would it look as nice as this? No, but it would look pretty darn nice. It would look pretty darn nice. There's a lot of hand finishing and touches on this thing that I think is just absolutely stunning, like the recess on the screws, things like that. Just really beautiful. Now, this was an FRN version of the MagnaCut that I got for this, and they didn't have the G10 version at the time, so I Frankensteined this knife. I wanted this build immediately as soon as it came out, and I got it. I did have to Frankenstein some knives, and fortunately was able to have somebody who donated a set of the steel liner, so I could build another knife out. But here we go. Here we are. A lot of talking. Long video. I know. Robert, shut up. Wrap it up. Okay, I'll wrap it up. Hey, appreciate you guys watching this. Let me know your thoughts on the scales. What do you think? This is tan. May not be your color. They have lots of different colors. Don't be stuck on this. I did want this color. I don't normally go for this color, but I really wanted this color because of the black. And the original scales that I saw, I really loved that color. And I wanted something brown, tannish that I felt like would just really complement the knife. And I'm so stoked when they were allowing me to check these out. So there you go. I will obviously have a link for this scale and other scales down in my description. Go check them out. I don't have an affiliate. They don't have an affiliate. I don't get anything from this except that allow me to check this out for free. So I do get that. And that I'm grateful for. And I love these. I absolutely love these. I would tell you, go check them out. All right. If you found this content fun, interesting, worthwhile, informative, or just entertaining, would you mind consider hitting that like button down below? If you've already hit that like button, maybe consider hitting the subscribe button too. Subscribing and liking the channel, it really does help me out. Allows me to produce more content, do more things. Ultimately, more things for you guys. Like some of the stuff that we're going to have here. We're going to have some stuff for the giveaway. Some of these clips and things are going into knives for the giveaway. So I'm super stoked about that. Because of you guys. So thank you. Because of everything you guys do, because of your support and all that stuff, I appreciate you. Appreciate you so much. If you haven't already, maybe also consider checking out the notification button down there below as well. If you click that, you can be notified of future content like this and other videos. And a big shout out to all my channel members. I appreciate you guys so very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You guys are awesome. If you haven't already, maybe consider subscribing to the channel. Would love to have you. Don't feel obligated, but I would love to have you. I'd be humbled by it. And as a little benefit, subscribers really mean the world to me. You do two things for me as being a subscriber. You encourage me. I don't do this full-time, I'm part-time. Two, you because of your generous support through your memberships, you allow me to do things way sooner than I thought I could. For instance, I can do a budget banger giveaway once a week. It adds up $50, $60, $100 every week. $400, $500 every month, right? That's $5,000, $6,000 every year. It's a lot of money. That's about more than I make in the channel with all the affiliates and everything like that. So a lot of any money I make in this channel goes right back into it. And I still couldn't be able to do all the things if it wasn't for you channel members. Be able to check out knives that people loan me. Be able to offer the budget banger giveaways. Be able to have some of these subscriptions that I have. Did I get glue on my hand when I was doing that? I sure did, didn't I? Some of the subscriptions and fees and services that I have for the different software to compile the videos and post-process and everything, right? You guys are huge, and I appreciate you guys so much for that. As a way for me to say thank you, I do two exclusive things for channel members. One, I do a once-a-month members exclusive giveaway. All the members, if you are a member, you're eligible for the once-a-month members giveaway. So every week we have a budget banger giveaway, but that 1 week in a month, there will be a budget banger and a members exclusive giveaway together, and you would be eligible for it. So That's my one way to say thank you. And it's not a budget banger. It's like $100 or more knife, something I hope that you would enjoy winning or giving as a gift. So that's the first thing. Second of all, technically I usually say the other one first, but all new channel members, I'd love to mail you a channel sticker and a thank you note. Basically, if you are actively currently a member right now, you've never asked or received a channel sticker, email me your name and address, and I'd love to mail you a channel sticker and a thank you note. And I actually do handwrite that. I don't know if you know that. I actually do. That's my small way to say thank you. And it could go 99% of the time it's new channel members, but it could be someone who's a member all along and just never asked, or someone who was a member and became a member again and had never asked. Email me your name and address. Let me send you a channel sticker and a thank you note, sincerely. Also, as a result of becoming members, you have extra little things. You get like the emojis, you get the exclusive content, lots of different interesting things. So hopefully you find some of that interesting and entertaining, of curiosity or of worth, right? So yeah, that's my way to say thank you to you guys. I appreciate you. If you haven't already, check me out on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Again, that's on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day and a great week. Bye.